Yeah, Joshua was crying on it. He was crying, at the post-fight press conference after his rematch with Usyk. Joshua, he had like a little mental breakdown, didn't he? He got fucked up in the fight, yeah. He did a bit better in this fight, than the first fight, but he still got fucked up, man. You know what I mean? He had a decent little round 9. But that was just completely cancelled, in round 10 by Usyk, like fucking up Joshua and having more of an impressive round than Joshua did the round before. Joshua, he tried to throw a few little body shots, didn't he? But Usyk, he had him covered. He had it covered well, didn't he, Usyk? Joshua, he tried to go to the body, because Usyk got hit with a few body shots early in his career and went down. So Joshua tried that, but Usyk, he had it all covered. It didn't fucking work, did it, at all, for Joshua. So yeah, Joshua, he's just not on that level at all, is he? Which is not, it's not like it's a shameful thing. Usyk's quite good, but Joshua, he's just kind of realising he's just not good enough. He's not going to be as good as Lennox Lewis. That's why he hates Lennox Lewis. He's jealous of him. I think Lennox would have done Usyk in. He's just a different calibre to Joshua. Like, Lennox, when he fought Klitschko, Lennox was behind, on points, but he just kept going forward and he sliced up Klitschko's eye. Made him bleed and made all that blood drip into his eyes. Putting him at a little disadvantage because he only had one eye. And I think the referee stopped the fight, but Lennox showing that kind of determination, we didn't really see it from Joshua. He had a little decent 9th round, but I don't know, the aggression that he shown after the fight, slamming Usyk's belts down like that. Why didn't he fucking do that in the fight? Joshua, he was like acting up. Because he knew he was getting held back. I said it before the other day in my video. Some of these guys in town, on a Saturday night drunk, they only want to start getting all angry and fucking aggressive and wanting to fight when they're being held back. But when they just stood there in front of the person that they've got beef with, they could have hit them when no one else was around. But now these people breaking it up, they want to start fucking saying, I'm going to fucking kill him. I'm going to kill him and all this shit, because they're being held back. And that's what Joshua was like. And that fucking guy who's holding Joshua back, that's his cousin, innit? And he was there, when Joshua told me to get out of his gym. So Joshua came up to me, told me to get out of his gym. That little cousin of his, that little fake bodyguard. When Joshua was angry, he was getting angry. But when Joshua left, that little fake bodyguard, the cousin of Joshua, he started like shaking my hand, giving me a hug, saying that he really likes my videos. When Joshua walked off, he was acting all nice and friendly, but when Joshua was getting angry with me, he was pretending to be angry. Like that little fake fucker, Leonard Ellaby. When Mayweather was angry at Larry Merchant, that Leonard Ellaby was angry. But anytime Mayweather's laughing, that little fucking Leonard Ellaby, he's laughing. He's just a little yes man, innit? So Joshua, he's surrounded by them guys, AKA Skins. Joshua got rid of him because he realised that he's not of any use, man. He's just a pussy, fucking hungry little groupie hanging around Joshua for sexual reasons. So Joshua got rid of him. But he's still surrounded by these muppets. They weren't giving Joshua good instructions, telling him that he's behind and he's got to fucking force the stoppage. That's what I mean, like, Emmanuel Stewart. Joshua needs someone like that, his little nephew, Sugar Hill Stewart. Joshua needs someone like that, because Emmanuel Stewart, when he was in Lennox Lewis's corner for the Mike Tyson fight, Emmanuel Stewart was shouting at Lennox Lewis.
Turn it back in. Get this motherfucker out of here, man. You can fuck around and get caught with some crazy shit. Step it up, the man is finished.
Jab the motherfucker, man. Yes. Just stab the motherfucker, goddammit. The simplest shit in the book.
So he's having a go at him, and that's what Joshua needs, man. These little trainers in his corner, they're all fucking muppets, man. Little groupies. They're just really happy to get the paycheck. So they don't want to fuck up that payday. So they'll just tell him anything, you know, that he wants to hear. But like, you know, Emmanuel Stewart, he was a bit different, wasn't he? Yeah, they think Joshua should go and train with Lennox Lewis, you know, being trained by Emmanuel Stewart for all those years. You know, Lennox Lewis is like set up a gym, you know, in Jamaica. So, you know, do you think Joshua would benefit, you know, from having like Lennox as a trainer? It's worth a try, innit? I think Joshua's got too much pride, you know, to like ask Lennox Lewis for help. Yeah, I bet Robert McCracken's glad Joshua lost, isn't he? You know, he'll try and be all nice and friendly, saying, no, I'm not glad at all, I'm not, but he is, you know what I mean, he's glad. Robert McCracken is glad Joshua got fucked up by Usyk again. Because he was getting slandered one day, Robert McCracken. You know, people saying, oh, he's a little fucking yes man. Saying, brilliant Joshua, brilliant. You know, when Joshua was getting beat up in the first fight. So now Joshua's got beat up again. You know, Robert McCracken will be loving it, won't he? You know, it's like when Naz got fucked up by Barrera. I asked Brendan Ingle if he was happy that Naz got fucked up by Barrera. And he said, no, I'm not happy at all, I'm not. But I think part of him would have been. You know, because Naz left him and went to Emmanuel Stewart. And then he got beat Naz. So I think Brendan was happy. So I think Robert McCracken is as well. Despite what he says. But yeah, Joshua getting fucked up, man. He hasn't been the same, has he? You know, since he got concussed. Before the Andy Ruiz fight, the first fight. You know, he hasn't been the same, has he? He's kind of admitted that he hasn't got the heart for boxing. He's admitted that he's just doing it for money.
Could you tell us, by your own definition, who you would define the real athlete Joshua is at the core?
At the core?
Yeah.
That's a good question. It's about the money.
Yeah, all those Muppets clapping at Joshua, do you know what I mean? Them fucking Muppets in the crowd, you know, at university. So it kind of shows, don't it? All these little corporate sponsorships and adverts that he's in, you know, it must be draining, you know, mentally, just having to put on a little fake laugh with Graham Norton. You know, Joshua, he probably doesn't like Graham Norton. Joshua's Nigerian, you know, and Africans are homophobic. So, you know, Joshua going on the Graham Norton show and having Graham Norton stood behind him like that. It's not what Joshua really wants to do, but his little PR team have told him, you know, to go on Graham Norton. It'll be a good look, you know. You'll attract fans from the fucking gay community. The LGBT community will pay for your pay-per-views, so you'll get more money. You know, and Joshua loves money, don't he? His heart's not in boxing. You know, where was that aggression? Slamming the belts down like that. Where was that in the fight? We didn't see any of it. We seen a little bit of it in the 9th round. And like we kind of seen that as well, you know, like when he did like a little face-off with Dominic Breazeale. You know, and he kind of like tried to get Eddie Hearn involved in it.
You better bring it, man. Eddie, supporting this geezer though, man.
You see that? You see him trying to like get Eddie Hearn involved, you know what I mean? Like trying to, you know, like he wasn't fully confident. I know he fucked up Dominic Breazeale in the actual fight, but I mean like in the streets where there's no referee, there's no judges. You know, he kind of called Eddie Hearn in, and it's a bit like George Groves, you know, when Carl Froch pushed him. And then Lee the Alcoholic Froch, you know, he tried to put it on George Groves. So George Groves put his hand up and he said,
"Oh, hold up. Oh. Hold up.
You know, trying to raise the alarm so the security can kind of protect him. You know, when Lee the Alcoholic Froch was about to fucking put it on George Groves. George Groves, yeah, was trying to like raise the alarm. You know, to the security. Saying, oh, hold up. You know, you can see it, man. You can tell what's going on there. You know, he was a bit in fear. Like Lee, the Alcoholic Froch, I used to spar with him. And like, even though he's an alcoholic, you know, he's about 19 stone. Because there's a lot of calories in alcohol. So, you know, George Groves, he was a bit on edge. So he was trying to like raise the alarm, you know, to the security. You know, so the security would like protect him. You know, and we kind of seen that with Joshua and Dominic Breazeale. You know, we seen it with Joshua, you know, and that guy said, keep it professional.
Keep it professional. What? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Fucking hell.
Because there's loads of people around Joshua, you know, he was acting up like, you know, because he knew he would get held back and protected, you know. Where was that aggression in the fight with Usyk, man? Where was that warrior in the garden? You know, he was dissing gardeners, wasn't he? You know, calling them a bunch of pussies. Saying it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war, but you didn't really show shades of a warrior. It's only when he got out of the fucking ring and he started slamming the belts down. That's disrespectful, isn't it, to Usyk? You know, Riddick Bowe, he put his WBC title belt in the bin. You know, because he got sick of all these fucking sanctioning fees and having these governing bodies telling him who he can and can't fight. So he got sick of it, didn't he, Riddick Bowe, and he just put his belt in the bin. But that was his belt. He was the world champion. But you know, Joshua, they're not your belts to be slamming down like that. It's fucking disrespectful, innit, to Usyk. I felt a little bit sorry for Usyk, you know, when Joshua was acting like that. Because it's like Joshua ruined his moment. But Usyk, he got the victory. He got about $40 million. Yeah, his fancy wife, Katerina, was in the crowd, you know. He's doing well in life, innit, Usyk. You know, he just fucked up Joshua again, you know, convincingly. So yeah, you have to rate him, but I don't know, Joshua was acting up, man. He gave that little dodgy speech. You know, saying, you know, it's not nice what's going on in Ukraine. You know, I don't know anything about it, but it's not nice. Like, he just made a fool of himself, didn't he? He just fucking started acting silly, man. But yeah, Joshua, I don't know, he's definitely fucking struggling mentally, innit? Kind of reminded me of Will Smith, you know, when he slapped Chris Rock and then he started fucking crying afterwards, you know, in the speech that he gave after. He was like crying, you know what I mean? These guys, they can't handle fame, man. You know, when the camera's on them and people are watching them all the time. You know, Will Smith with his bald-headed wife. You know, it's sending them mental. These guys like Joshua, they can't handle just being fake all the time. They want to be themselves, don't they? You know, and we've seen that coming out, you know, when Joshua had a little breakdown in the ring. I said it the other day, it's like Michael Jackson, you know him. You know, when he was a kid, his dad used to beat him with a belt. You know, when Michael Jackson was trying to get a bit of pussy and that, he was trying to go out and just, you know, trying to sleep around. But his dad would beat him and tell him to sing and dance and perform. And so Michael Jackson, he couldn't have a childhood. You know, because of his dad, Joseph Jackson, who used to beat him with a belt. So obviously when Michael Jackson grew older, you know, he started like sleeping around with a load of kids. You know, when you're a kid and you have little sleepovers, you know, Michael Jackson, he missed out on those days because his dad used to beat him with a belt if he wanted to go and have a little sleepover. So Michael Jackson started doing it as an adult, you know, it started to come out. You know, and it's the same with Joshua, he's had to be fake, you know, for all these years and media friendly and put on a little fake smile and a fake laugh with Graham Norton. So now he's just sick of it. He just wants to fucking go and get some pussy with AKA Skins. Like I said it before, didn't I? You know that woman who just sent me a message saying that she's got Joshua's phone number. And she sent me his phone number. And she said, troll him on your channel, you know, make a fool of him. Embarrass him, expose him. You know, ring him up and fucking troll him on your channel. It will be funny. So Joshua, you can't trust him, man. You know, he's probably always hesitant, you know, to bang a woman in case she tries to pull out a little fake rape claim or some little Me Too fucking claim or some dumb shit like that. That's what a lot of these women are like, man. So Joshua, he's breaking down. You know, and we seen it there, you know, when he was crying. I don't know, I think some fighters just struggle to deal with defeat, you know, like Deontay Wilder. You know, when he got fucked up by Tyson Fury, you know, after he started doing that DMT, didn't he? you know, started like doing magic mushrooms and that, you know, trying to find meaning in life, you know, trying to find answers, you know, soul searching, trying to find a purpose, trying to find the meaning of life, you know, because he couldn't get over getting fucked up by Tyson Fury. And it's the same with Joshua, innit? He just can't beat Usyk, you know, so he's slamming belts down and he's like a little kid, you know, spitting their dummy out when things don't go their way. That's what Joshua was doing, money. He was acting a bit silly, man. So yeah, Joshua crying. What do you think? There's nothing wrong with crying. You know, Mayweather, he was crying, wasn't he? You know, when he got robbed in the amateurs. He had a little cry, didn't he, Mayweather? But it's passion, innit? It's that passion, you know, that fucking desire to win. But Joshua didn't really show it in the fight, did he? So, you know, Joshua crying, you know, it's not really warranted, is it? You know, like Mayweather. But yeah, it's old news now, isn't it? It's fucking kind of old news. What's going on in boxing? What's going on? Yeah, Conor McGregor and Carl Froch are having a bit of beef, aren't they? Who wins in the streets, you know, out of Carl Froch and Conor McGregor? I don't know, you know, I think it might be Carl Froch. He's a tough guy, you know. Seriously, he's fucking... I think he's got the edge, but it's interesting. I'm going to do a proper video on that, but thanks for watching, yeah, thanks for that.